I want to ask you this today. How many career options have you failed at? Before doing this, I failed at almost five career choices in the matter of 7 years. You really want to know what I did all these 7 years, which I really wasted, and it literally went to a dump? I'll tell you. First was data analytics. I tried really hard to get into data analytics. Second was social impact space. It was booming back then, 4 to 5 years back. Every economist wanted to get into the social impact development space. Third, travel app. I was a sucker for traveling. I still am, but I tried developing an app for travelers. It clearly didn't go anywhere. Fourth, I was a part of Big Four consulting firm for the past 7 years. Tarot reader, yes, I did try and become a tarot reader as well. I still know how to read tarot, but I do not follow it as a profession because it doesn't vibe very well. But the question here is, I tried and failed at five career options before I even turned 30. It was not a good one. It was a complete mental chaos. But have you noticed something very peculiar here? All the five which I followed was just because they were trendy back then. All of them, they were just in. So I gave into the hype that, you know what, if that person can succeed, why can't I? I'm going to show you and pursue you that I can win. And I did follow these. But the thing is, I followed them only for the money I thought they could bring me. I didn't care about who I was serving. I didn't care about my customers. I didn't care about the people. I didn't even care about the app, the software. All I wanted from the travel app was freedom of location. I thought I could run a tech team from anywhere. Yes, I was stupid. But the last one, which is life and business coaching, I got into it, had no set path, took a long time. It actually takes a long time to actually grow and flourish. And there is literally, you cannot see any money coming in for quite some years. Even if I know you must see several life coaches, but money doesn't come in. It's extremely difficult. But you know what? It worked for me in no time, absolutely. But here is what I got to learn, and you should learn this too. Friends, the trendy career options which you hop in, which I also did. I was at the same boat as you are. Trends are false signals which arrive to take you further away from your goal. The more you hop in, the more it takes you away from your goal, from your ultimate aim, from your destination. And what ends up happening? You end up wasting 7 years and reach nowhere, whereas you expected that you will be able to make it in life in just 2 years. If you hop onto the trends, you're guaranteed to be swept away and there is no coming back. This is what causes anxiety because you give in too easily to career options just because they are very trendy at that point in time or currently are. And you say that, if these career options are working for that person, why isn't it working for me? And then what you believe yourself, that I'm stupid, I'm not good enough, I no, I'm not capable of doing anything, and you hire all these coaches to help you out, but still it's a waste of money and it doesn't reach anywhere. But the question I really want to ask you today is your current career, wherever you are, current career is also something which you gave into the trend, something you hopped on just because they were trendy and there was no other option for you. These are certain indicators which will help you determine that the current career may not be aligned to who you are. First, you're always in resistance, fighting every single day, trying to swim upstream the river. Tired, exhausted, kicking in, really trying to make it, but still it's not reaching anywhere. Successful careers have a state of flow. Have you worried anytime before that your age is just fleeting and you are really scared of aging, but you have not made anything in your career? You are not there in your career, right? I had this fear for a very, very long period of time. until I reached to a life and business coaching where the timeline just seems to vanish. It just seemed to vanish. I could not see my end destination because I was living my goal itself. So, until unless you reach that state of flow where the time itself seems to vanish and the goals which you keep on dreaming about, they do not seem like a goal. It's just in the oblivion. You can't see it anymore just because you start living it day in and day out. And then all that matters was how well did you do just today. That's all that matters. It's a state of flow which all successful people who are into right careers, all businessmen experience day in and day out. And that is why they are so resilient with their careers or with their businesses. Even though they go through ups and downs, they still keep at it just because there is no destination. It's just giving in your 100% day in and day out. That brings me to my second point. You compete, not create. Every day feels like surviving and not thriving. Every day feels like a fight with your emotions, with people around you, with your negative thoughts, your beliefs, your values, your dreams. Every day feels like a fight. And hence, to find an easier way out, an easier path out, you mimic instead of innovating. You have no different idea. You just work just because this person, that this thing has worked for this person, and hence it should work out for me too. And you do not put any of your logic, any of your knowledge. You just give up, you just give in. So there is no innovation, and hence you get scared of getting replaced. That some person who is better than you are scared that you will be easily replaceable tomorrow. And hence you do not put any effort in your career or in your job. Third, you trade identity for security. If you're someone who feels like they don't recognize themselves anymore, they don't know who they are when they're working in their respective careers, whether it's your job or your business, you don't feel you anymore. You constantly feel that your voice is being pushed downwards. You're not being able to speak what you really want to. You're not being able to stand for really who you are. Do you feel that? I used to feel that for a very long period of time, almost like 7 years. And that is why I suffered with anxiety, depression. Literally, I was on medications for all 7 years just because I couldn't recognize who I was anymore. So you bury yourself to fit in, just to try to show that I can compete. But in your heart, you really do not want to compete in the very first place. And hence, you lose yourself and feel detached completely from life itself. If all of these are true and is currently fitting in your scenario, that means you hopped on onto the trend. You just jumped into it. And hence, your failure is guaranteed just because you don't feel yourself anymore. You don't know, you don't want to compete, you don't want to give yourself, you don't want to provide yourself in that career for 100%. You do not want to. But the question here is, what is that something which aligns with you, and how to find it at the very first place? How to find that one single career option which is gonna make you feel alive, feel confident, and feel that you're contributing and working towards something, and this will lead me to something meaningful. How to find that? We have indicators for those as well. First, here, follow energy, not interest. Everything is energy around us. Have you ever gotten into pubs or restaurants and you met this stranger who you really fell in love with? Like, I want to be your friend. Why? If somebody asks you why, you say, I don't know, I just vibed well with that person. You have friends who you vibe very well together. You have no clue why you do what you do. That is an energy. You feel connected. They feel like home. This energy feels like just like you yourself. So, why not apply the same principle in your career? You love traveling. Why do you love traveling? because you love the energy of that place. You like the energy of the culture that you explore. It's the same principle, so why not apply the same thing here? So how to find that particular career which you vibe with very well? The first thing, when you talk about it or think about it, does your heart skip a beat? Just like what just happened, butterfly in your stomach, like what just happened? Have you ever felt those butterflies in your stomach, like this is something exciting? So whenever you talk or think about it or speak about it or read about it, do they make you feel like this is, I want to something, this feels like so me? Now, second, your mind starts imagining the endless possibilities you can do out of that career option, out of that work, out of that choice. All those things which you could do, which you could innovate, which you could create, which you can bring into fruition, just because the idea of it feels so exciting. That is your nervous system telling you that this is home. This career option, this person, this place is home, just because here I feel like me. Second, study your obsessions keenly. There must be something, whenever you're scrolling through Instagram or YouTube, there must be certain kind of content which you always stop by. You want to listen whatever is happening in that field or that area. Like for me, it was personal development. I was obsessed with hearing techniques and systems as to how to overcome your uh, mental limiting beliefs and how to just take control of your brain. I was obsessed with learning that. And that is why you find me here. So if you keenly notice the kind of content you always stop by, that will tell you that it will be pointing you towards a field or an area you just might be really interested in. So you need to really keenly study your habits, study your obsessions, study whatever you're doing in day to day, day in and day out. You need to learn what you're doing. Notice what is making you stop, what is making you think, what is making you just feel that I want to know, or I want to understand more about this. It just might be your place. Third, test fast and fail fast. Here, I want to tell you about Jeff Bezos' two-way decision making concept. He says that you need to access those doors quickly and instantly in a very short period of time, through which you can get out and get in. That means you can try, fail, and come back with no harm done in your life. So those decisions you need to make quickly, swiftly, without much thinking. And just take those decisions slowly, which are just one way door. That means you get out of that door, you cannot come back in. And which is why you found me testing so many career options in the 7 years. These all were two-way doors. It didn't really impact me as much, just because I was working with a big four consulting firm for all these years. So always, whenever you're thinking about options, fields, areas, career choices, you need to think about two-way doors. And you need to ask yourself, is this career choice or this decision is a two-way decision, is a two-way door decision, or it's a one-way door decision? And you will have an answer. Fourth, ensure that whatever area, whatever idea, whatever career you are in, it brings more value to others than yourself. I'll tell you a fact here. If you give 100% to something, if it's serving to people, a real problem of the people of today are facing, you get back in return in multifolds, 200, 300, 400. At some point, you won't be able to even calculate the amount of return you get back. And I'm talking about financially, yes. I'm also talking about the kind of happiness which you will get, but financially first. But if you pour in that 100% of yourself into I, me, myself, and be selfish about it, you won't get anything back. The society won't give it to you because you stepped in into this for your personal reasons, not for them. At the end, the value is getting generated from their end and not your end. So they need to find it valuable. 40% of your customer or the people who you work with need to feel that if they don't have access to you or your product, there is something really missing in life. That means they can't do without you. They can't do without your product. They can't do without your idea. And that is when you land into your biggest opportunity of your life. Now, I want you to write these two lines down, which will be super important for you. You achieve success when you stop chasing success and instead chase alignment. Second, iconic careers are never chosen. They are always uncovered. If you find yourself that you're onto something, you're uncovering something, and there is some this gold which is lying here, and if you really think about it, speak about it, talk about it, you can feel your heart skip a beat. That is your place, that is your home, that is your vibe, and I can guarantee you, I can literally guarantee you that that will be the one which will lead you to your success. Do not repeat the same mistake what I did for 7 years. It's a very long time to spend being anxious, being stressed, being worried, being depressed. It's a very, very long time. I do not want you to live how I did back then. So, people, find your vibe, find your home. Okay, I'm getting really sweaty, so we need to wrap this up. You know the drill, that if you really like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you really love this video, please, please, please share it with someone who you think needs to hear these the most, or these techniques will be very useful to them. And if you have any idea or any topic which you want me to cover in my upcoming videos, please do let me know, and I will cover them in my next upcoming schedule. Till then, thank you and bye bye.